Much love and light. I'm gonna welcome listen to this moment with some sound. 444 portal. Welcome. I am Mahatma Starseed, and I am here setting the intentions of my reality. And welcome to your Wednesday. That was an amazing phrase that was told to me today, and I am running with that. I was like, that's so much better than What's Up Wednesday. So welcome to your Wednesday, and you tuning in with Mahatma Starseed, and I am here gracing the stage. Ooh, releasing, and just coming into this week with so much purpose, so much giving. It's that time of the year when a lot of us really step back and bring some observation to what it is that we're doing. Since today is December 15th and it's the end of the Gregorian calendar, it does bring some energy up for us to be able to really assess and see what it is that we want to bring forward for ourselves moving forward. So take a breath, release. Allow yourself to take this moment and share this video with someone that you look to have conscious conversations with. The whole purpose of us being here today is for you to be able to elevate your conversation, be able to move the needle on what it is that you feel that you are looking to really represent in your conversation, and be able to completely own it and really feel like you're mastering your reality. So that's where Elite Talks came from, because we're really here to talk in an elite sound that helps us to know that we are being useful in providing our sound, and not just providing sound because that's something that these bodies can normally do, right? So when we meet the potential to speak to others, are we really truly looking to just be reactive, or are we really looking to be responsive in the scenario, situation, or possibly the dilemma that is placed right in front of you? And one of the great things that I've realized is that everything has to change, everything has to shift. And I've been doing these elite talks so much so a couple of times I had Mindset Detox come on here and guest the stage with me, and he shared his elite talks, but it really didn't help us to take it to another level. So what I plan on doing, I shared a little bit with y'all last week, expanding this segment to where we're going to have more artists on here. We're going to have more speakers, more people that have conscious conversation that you can be able to engage with, and really see how is it that we are able to bring to the front street the conversation that we have been working on, curating, and manifesting for our highest potential. Ring the bell. Today's a ring the bell type of day. It is another way to play sounds. I just realized my mic isn't on. Okay. Hopefully it is now. Gotta make sure y'all can clearly hear me and make sure my sound's getting there. So I like to take breaths. They're really important. It really helps me to be able to remain present, remain right here. I highly suggest it to be something that you utilize for yourself. I feel so much better when I give myself that space. So I kind of, for today's episode, uh, being that it's one of the last ones that you'll be seeing me here, gracing the stage by myself. I really want to bring to contents of why it's so important for us to create a routine, to create a significant set of standards, guidelines per se, for how we are engaging and how we are being. If we only use the conversation that is very casual, then we're going to have very casual conversations. If we push ourselves to be above average, to be above casual conversations, and really have an integrated conversation, you get to move the narrative from a monologue, which is a single person talking, to a dialogue, to where there's multiple people talking and engaging in this narrative. So what you're going to see over the coming weeks is you're going to see people really looking to have those brain twisting conversations, ego dividing conversations, and really seek for a way to, how can I have a complete conversation where I feel just as empowered as being my unique self at the beginning, I can feel that at the end. And I can say that the same for the other component. Not saying that there won't be a variation, because you never know, how much you're really adequate in your conversation. You don't know what that's going to do for you. So it might boost you, it might, deplete you a little bit, but ultimately it's going to give you realization. It's going to give you acceptance to being more of you and seeking to hear your sound. I know that was one of the things that I had the biggest realization of when I started recording myself. And I started, I have to do the editing for this, of course, right? So I started looking and paying attention to, my mannerisms, my eyes, my body language, how much I was able to really express what it is that I'm thinking in my head. And I start to be able to really curate my sounds, really bring a punch to what it is that I'm looking to share, because we can create a conversation to where we're just speaking to have dialogue. However, we're not speaking to reach a clear stage of completion, right? So having a dialogue is one thing, and then having the dialogue reach a state of completion is definitely the leading force in being able to be masterful in your life, to be truly a self entrepreneur. You have to be able to know that your conversations need to lead with completion. And listen to when I say that your conversations need to lead with completion. And that way, naturally, they're going to end with completion, because you've already penciled it in to the beginning intro aspect of you speaking what you feel is necessary. So we go from this state of really reducing how much we allow people to write into our narrative for us. It's one thing if someone writes themselves into your narrative, that's cool, as long as that's what you want. But we shouldn't be allowing someone else to write a narrative insert into our life that's not necessarily going to be for our best high potential. So this is where we really step back and start getting elite in our talks. So I come and I just show you how I'm being. So now I'm explaining to you and sharing with you the background of what it is that I am conceptualizing in order for me to share this information with you. I have to be able to remove myself from my story so that I can see how much I'm inputting into it. And I can see how much others are inputting into it. And then I get to have ownership of what it is when people are adding into my story. How much is someone else writing my narrative affecting me for the better, the worse, or the neutral? This is how we have an elite conversation with ourselves. And then we can bring ourselves to have more elite talks in our everyday manner. And it will just happen naturally. But what won't happen naturally is it just manifesting without you doing the work. We have to set a time frame, a duration of what it really looks like for us to be able to see how much can I move in life, how much can I be more advanced in life. So I'm going to give you an example of what I typically do and how I have been able to see the needle move. I love the stars. I love astrology. So I utilize the solar system to help me see how I move through my phases. So because the lunar cycle goes through all 12 of the zodiac signs, which means there's like 13 sometimes, right? So you give that break for that. The moon goes through all of the zodiac signs in 1 month. So that means that whatever situation occurs for me at the beginning of the month, if I'm not able to assess and close the chapter of that energy immediately, and I hold on to it through the whole month, I have now felt that energy through all of the different elements of the zodiac sign, and I should have a more reasonable response to that situation, problem, dilemma. And if I haven't reached it, then I ask myself, how much longer is it going to take for me to reach this? Has the choice to push this duration of time out or to pull it back? Then this helps me to see if I need to rectify the problem right now before it goes into another lunar cycle, or if it's something that's gonna just have to pace itself out and I just have to keep monitoring that conversation along the way. This is very important for you to be able to sustain a reasonable, clear, conscious, collected mind into every one of your moments. You have to be willing to create a register, to create a timesheet of who is adding situations, scenarios into your life, whether that be you, someone else, or outside parties, how much you're willing to have added to the table, right? So maybe you're only open to add 4 situations into your life a month. Maybe those 4 situations are the same ones every month. And maybe you only have space to add 2 extra situations that have nothing to do with you. And that's key, because once we know how much space we have for ourselves and others and for the outside parties, right? Those unknown flying saucers, now we can create a more dynamical way of being able to be present in life, not over we allow ourselves to pull back and not overcommit ourselves, allow ourselves to reduce how much commitments we are having, and really have an increase in completion of the things that we're committing. A lot of us out there are having major problems with starting and finishing projects solely because we're allowing ourselves to pick up too many, think that we're not supposed to pick up too many, and then seek no way of completion because the outside thoughts are telling you that it's impossible for you to pick up many different traits at once and for you to have some type of completion. Now, that's someone else telling you that you can't do it. And you have to ask yourself, well, let me see what are these 5 things that I've picked up and see which ones are realistic. Maybe one of those things in there isn't realistic and you keep penciling at it and it's taking away your ability from completing all the other things. We're not here to have goals to where we have to complete them all. We're here to have goals to where they're helping us to either complete a goal or make a more efficient goal. And we only get efficient when we are able to run diagnostic checks, when we're able to stop, breathe and question with integrity and truth. Is this the way that I want to go? Do I still want to keep going this way? Are the people around me open and ready to keep driving with me if I make this turn? And you don't think about that for you not to take the turn. You think about it in the respect that, okay, if there's a couple of people that are not ready for me to take this turn, I got to figure out how to support that division because I'm going to take that turn anyways, right? But I'm not going to ignore the individuals in my life that aren't ready to take that turn with me. I have to get them ready. I got to get them prepped. I got to get them situated to understanding that, hey, you may need to do a couple of steps personal development wise for you to turn this way with me, or you may want to start making some other plans that you don't really incorporate me into too many of your things, because a lot of my turns are going to be for personal development. And if you're not making personal development turns with me, it's going to be truly hard for us to be able to expand where we resonate, right? Because we have to love each other enough to know that if our roads are leading two different ways, then we've got to be able to let each other go and not be sad from it, not feel like we're losing something and feel like we're gaining something that we gave each other. We gave each other the space. We gave each other the integrity. We gave each other the truth. We allowed each other to have trust in our journey and to acknowledge all that is meant for me shall always return back to me. And that takes determination, that takes consistency, and that takes a group of individuals to really support you in your accountability. Because no one can make you have people be accountable. And even if you put people in front of you for you to be accountable, you still can't make anyone make you be accountable for you. So it's really important for you to show up and to really push to see how you can push the limits, how you can push the levels. Pay attention to how many levels have I moved up in since I moved out of my parents' house? How many levels have I moved up in since I started in the work field? Or how many levels have I moved up in since I started having children and got married? Or how many levels have I moved up in without doing any of those things? What has it done for me? Honestly, truthfully, and realistically, at the end of the day, wherever you want to lead your beliefs, there's a majority of people out there that understand that God is real. And there's a majority of other people out there that are like, I don't even know if I want to have time to even talk about God being real. And the most important thing is that you got to accept which part of the street you're on and move forward with it. The more you go back and forth and say, what if, what if, what if, the more the division will happen and the less completion will happen, the less you'll be able to see the answer. If you keep with your what ifs, the less you will get an answer. And that's a really, really the biggest key of tonight. Reduce your what ifs. And if you're going to use what ifs, make sure they're for you to have plans A, B, and C. If I do this and that doesn't happen, then I'll do this. If I do this and that happens, then I'll do this. That's the only place truly that you want to stick some ifs in there. If you stick ifs in any other places, you're really lining yourself up for that rippleage of manifestation. And basically, like they say, is you obstruct your ability to manifest. So if you really want to just stay in the realm of understanding that this vessel has the ability to manifest everything that which it desires, stick with yourself there, lead with your conversation there, and see how much that confidence gets you to where you want to be. And if it needs to be somewhere else with your conversation, you just have to own it. Commit to your conversation. No more sorries. No more I don't knows. and no more I'm not sure. Be sure today. I'm Mahatma, and I am blessed and highly favored to be sharing with y'all. But before I go, I'm going to shuffle from my Buddha Wisdom deck, see the energy. So the Buddha Wisdom deck, it's the divine masculine energy. So it's going to bring out a creative question for you to maybe ask yourself. Maybe this is going to help you to really see what dilemma you create for yourself with your thoughts. Okay, right here. Bing bong. Bing bang boom. The words. Ooh. Surrender your judgments. Put that up there. Boop. See beyond the end and the beginning. See, that's what I'm talking about. See beyond the end and the beginning, right? Don't get so stuck on ending something. Don't get stuck on being scared something's going to end. Or don't be so rushed to see something begin. Like a lot of us want to begin being in this relationship and having this big house and having kids, and but have you created a space for all of those things to be a part of your life? A lot of people think it's the money. I'm not financially ready for these things. Honestly, it's the space. It's the space that you create in your head first, the dreams that you set out to manifest, and everything else will just trickle in. Everything. The position, the family style, the acquaintances, the personality, the commitment. It's all going to be there as long as you keep your faith and keep manifesting. Know that it's coming because it's already here. You're just making the space for it to stay. Much love and light. I appreciate you.